I think what you need to recognize is WTO rules don't work for you unless your domestic policy environment is synchronized with rules. So, for instance, under all the WTO agreements, members have undertaken to binding commitments in terms of what they do. And inherent in all WTO agreements are three main principles. The first is most favored nation treatment. Whatever treatment I give to one member, I cannot extend any inferior to that to the other member. So I must treat my members rightly. There's also the principle of national treatment. Whatever I do to my domestic producers and businesses, I will do to foreign businesses. And there's then the question of transparency and predictability in the regime of trade policies that a member may put in place. So, in some ways, to help developing countries, the rules allow developed countries and developing countries in a position to do so, to grant preferential access to other members, either under the enabling clause or some other provisions that exempts those rights being extended to another member. So if you are familiar with the economic history of Mauritius, Mauritius was a sugar exporting country, solely sugar. But they took advantage of the Lomé Conventions and access into the EU market to develop a garment sector. Today, Mauritius has created an entrepôt, is investing in infrastructure to allow them to do call centers, which means they have moved from sugar to garments and now in services. You can also think of a small LDC like Lesotho. Because of the AGOA, Lesotho was able to bring in Taiwanese garment manufacturers. And today, Lesotho is exporting garments to the United States. So these opportunities exist only if you work to take advantage. If any African government looks at what it's doing, where the market is, the conditions in that market, and then comes back to develop the right policies that will take advantage of those market conditions. Maybe the technology you need to have, the size of the firm you need to have, the supply chain leading into that market, because in most of these markets, you need to deliver on time and you need to be competitive. So if you look at the trade costs within the supply logistics or supply chain, you can then help your producers to take advantage. The benefit to the government is better revenue. You know what is being exported, you can tax. Some of these producers are importing inputs. You know what is coming in, you can get your duties paid. They give jobs. The jobs enable the workers, your populations, to have incomes. And you also earn foreign exchange, which can help you finance other aspects of your development. So you need to first and foremost think of the role that trade can play in your national development strategy. Then you can now begin to look at where the favorable market conditions are that you can now exploit. Some of them may require technical assistance from the WTO, and each WTO agreement has a provision for technical assistance. So it's up to the country If you want to look at WTO as merely negotiating and liberalization of trade, you miss the game. If you first look at trade as important for you and you build your policy framework to use it, fine. Then the WTO becomes an opportunity for you to deepen the contribution of trade to your development.